We are live.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Talk Over podcast. We have our special guest today, Mr. John Mitchell. John Mitchell is a veteran from the United States Navy, and he's also a trainer. So he's going to give us some insight about what he does and how he travels and other things about his lifestyle that he does. So, welcome, John.
Welcome,
Thank you.
Mr.
Thank you.
John.
I
Thank you for
appreciate it.
coming.
Yes.
Mm.
I appreciate y'all giving me the opportunity.
Of course, of course. So we just want to more or less talk about you and the things that you do. Just tell us some background about your Navy days, being in the Navy.
Okay. Well, basically, when I graduated high school in '83, I went to another school for about another year, technical school. And so in '84, I decided I can't get a job here, so I need to try to probably just join the U.S. Navy. So I applied for the Navy, and I wanted to be in electronics. I always loved electronics, and so
Mm-hmm.
the Navy allowed me to get into the advanced electronic program back in '84. So I joined the Navy there, and then I went to Orlando for boot camp. I was in Orlando once I finished up my boot camp there. Then I went to Great Lakes, Illinois for my electronics advanced training school. So after I finished, I did 26 weeks in Great Lakes, Illinois for the advanced electronics program. It was a pretty tough program, but I was determined to get through it
That's
and
great.
become a technician. That was my goal.
That's
I was
good.
not letting nothing stop me.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that's
you,
good.
you know, I'm an old Navy guy myself. My training wasn't extensive because I was just training watch in the Daddy Bush War. You remember that war? I was in the
Oh
Daddy
yeah.
Bush War. So,
Oh
Mr.
yeah.
John, we was talking before the broadcast got started, and I just want to let everyone know how I met you. I met you at the gym over in I think Chesapeake, Portsmouth area, and we were strangers, but we seen each other all the time, and it grew to conversation from that point, and us giving each other spots when we needed, and
Oh
of course,
yes.
you being a Patriots fan, me being a Redskin fan, football can always get guys to talking. And you just
Oh yeah.
always had a great spirit with yourself, man. And we just appreciate that you coming on and having this conversation with us. And I just want to tell the audience that John and myself, us being older gentlemen, we're still in the gym and we're gonna talk about that later. But I want to dive right into his extensive career, man. I know you told me you don't think I remember all this stuff, but I know you told me a long time ago that you were I think in radars, right?
Yes, with radar system.
Yeah, radar systems, and I just thought that was just amazing, man. That you had that advanced thinking to be able to put a radar together from scratch, man. And this always
Yeah.
awed me, man. And wow, so just explain to the audience what that entails, man. You know?
Yes. Well, of course, like I said, I got the training in the U.S. Navy, so
Yeah.
that education was really beneficial. But when I got out, I went into manufacturing. So I did manufacturing jobs, and then I decided about 15 years into manufacturing, I decided I want to go back into defense with radar, working for government projects. So I joined the company, a Danish defense contractor. And that particular job allowed me to travel and do field service globally.
Yeah. Yes.
So
Nice.
yeah, it allowed me to go globally. And I started out doing ships, U.S. ship radar.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I grew and got more knowledge and got a stronger base with it, they put me into airport radar. And then I
Wow.
moved into vessel tracking and coastal surveillance. And so what happened with all of that, having all those three different backgrounds with radar, it allowed me to travel the world. So at that point, I started going to Europe, to France. Then I started going to Azerbaijan, which is the Caspian Sea in that area. I did a lot of work in Saudi Arabia. And then I also ended up doing radars for China. So about 5 years ago, I was actually in Wuhan before all this.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wow.
Wow.
yeah, Yeah, and the Chinese, they treated me really well. It was a good experience. I learned a lot. I trained them and developed them on the newest technology with radars, and it just was great. So from there, I also went to Brazil, which is one of the favorite places that I enjoy, Brazil. And during this time, my company would allow me to let my wife travel with me on certain
that's
trips.
nice.
So I took my wife to Brazil for 2 weeks. She loved it. I took her
Wow.
to see what's that? The Christ the Redeemer up on the mountain and all that good stuff. And we traveled all around looking at all their areas. So it was just a beautiful experience. And then each area I go to, I have friends to this day. I still communicate with them on Facebook and everything. So they're probably watching this podcast right now.
Wow. Okay.
You know,
That's
John.
wonderful.
You know, John, and that's what I seen about you, because I'm the hardest person to talk to. You see, I'm very reserved, right? And I know, I mean, you just opened me up to talk, and here we are, you know, years later, and you know, we just, you know, sometimes you go in different direction, but we was able to connect back up, man, and it was such a beautiful thing. But tell the audience, man, how it is going from place to place. You have to be that people's person, right? To be able to open up, talk to people. I mean, different languages, right?
That's the biggest thing. And being American, I only speak English. I don't speak no other language, which is sad. It would have been nice if I had learned, other languages. However, where I traveled to these different places, I always had a translator. Yeah. Whether I was in China, if I was in Brazil, they speak Portuguese in Brazil. There was always somebody that was there with me, guiding me, protecting me, and everything. That was the most beautiful thing. And then the people all over the world are just like us. They want to take care of their families, have a good job, and just enjoy life. And that's what I found out the most. But my personality, I like people. I'm a techie, but I also like people. Yeah. So there's no problem with me striking up a conversation, talking to people, getting to know folks, and then building my network.
Yeah. And then you had something that they needed, man. You had that knowledge, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they treated you like, I know they treated you like gold. you was a commodity, John.
I think that's important that you be a people's person if you are in the field that you're in, because you have to be able to connect with people, to make sure they feel comfortable, especially as an instructor too. So I think that's awesome that you're doing that. So
that's the most biggest thing. And as I say, in my career, I grew by knowing the hands-on. So I became an expert at installing. And then the next phase, I became an expert at doing the software. And then the next phase, I became an expert at doing training. So instead of my company sending out maybe, 2 people to do an install and another person to do this and another, I would go and do it all in 3 weeks.
Wow. Yeah. So is it a big class that you have when you're doing the training sessions, or is it just?
It can average anywhere from 6 to 15 people. It all depends.
Okay.
And then it's normally like a 5-day training that I normally do. This is in my previous job. In my current job, because I moved on from them in 2019, I left that company because I wanted to spend more time with my family. I joined a current company that I'm with now, and I'm not doing radar no more. I'm doing mechanical engineering. So I changed whole discipline. So mechanical. Yeah. So it's exciting. It's allowing me to drive and try to push to learn new things. And I'm at the sales part of it. So now I'm using my charisma in the sales world with the technical stuff. So it's a really exciting challenge, and I'm enjoying it.
Wow, that's really nice. I like that. So do they send you back to the same places all the time, or is it just different areas?
I travel all around. Well, in the previous job with the Danish defense contractor, I worked with for 11 years. And I would go to different places within 11 years. I could be in China, I could be in Brazil, I could be in the Turks and Caicos, I could be, anywhere doing jobs according to what, they needed. In my current job right now, I just travel domestically, only in the US.
Okay.
So there's 5 sales managers in the different area, and they go, John, we need you to support us for this. Then I travel to, like recently, Iowa, and I'll do a demo or training or support like that. And then I fly back home. So the beautiful thing is instead of being gone 2 to 3 weeks, I'm only going 2 to 3 days now.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah,
right. So you can come back home. That's
Yeah,
nice.
great. You know, I
I
tell
love
you,
it.
John, you know, you can be beside someone, right? Like we were, and not knowing each other, and just don't even understand who you're shaking hands with, and because you have a very important job. I mean, to be to travel so many places and set up radar systems, and I know people may not understand what radar systems are, but I got a pretty good idea because I was on an aircraft carrier,
yep.
right? And of
Very
course,
nice.
we were the mothership, so radar was very important, man. And I just remember being in there, and we was over near Iraq, and we had a missile boat a minute off our bow, and the missile system missed it. I mean, of course, it's only a little missile boat to a I mean, it couldn't have done nothing to us, but still,
Of course.
I mean, I know heads roll with that. So let people understand how important your job was, man. Just tell them how important your job was, because you're a civilian contractor, and I don't think they understand that civilian contractors actually protect this country also in things that you do.
Yeah. Civilian contractors play a big role in developing our military, making it more modern.
Yeah,
bringing new technology. So bring all the newest, latest, and greatest technology to them, train them and develop them so that they can protect our country and protect themselves and stay safe. So that's what we bring. And radar is so advanced; it's at another level when you're dealing with the electrons and the control screens, because it's dealing with frequencies and stuff. So I don't want to get too techie on you, but it goes pretty heavy. I'm telling you. And like I said, by having that background in electronics and then, crossing over and learning mechanical, it was easy for me to understand it and pick up the new technology that the Europeans were developing. So
I got you. Yeah.
Really well.
Wow, man. That's great. That's great.
That's great information to know.
Very
good.
So moving forward, is it something that once COVID has kind of died down a little bit, is it something that you looking to do again, or you done? You just domestically now? That's something you put behind you?
I think I'm going to stay what I'm doing currently right now. I like it. I like the technical sales, working with the sales team and doing the mechanical side. I got about maybe 10 more years before I can retire.
I got you.
So I'm kind of ramping it down, kind of.
Yeah.
Younger generation.
Let me see. Let me do the math. Let me see. 10 more years.
I got a birthday. I got a birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Yep, January the 30th.
Oh, January 30th.
Oh, January 30th. Okay, you got coming. Okay.
January 30th.
So we're in Aquarius.
Yes. And we're in the age of the Aquarians.
Yeah.
I've never been good at the signs and what month is what.
Oh, yeah.
That's great, John. So, of course, I got to let people know that Mr. John and myself, we are avid weightlifters, man. Let's talk a little bit about that, because the one thing I told my wife, and I tell everybody, we've been in the gym for so long.
Yes.
What did I tell you, Kim? Being in the gym, is a what?
A lifestyle.
A lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. Exactly.
So for everybody who's looking for that New Year's resolution, it's never gonna work. You have to make it your lifestyle. It has to be part of you. I mean, literally part of you. I was always tell my wife, like, sometimes, you may take 6 months out the gym, but you got to go back. Avid work, because I know it was tough for you traveling all over the world, different gyms, trying to get your workout on, different hotels, and the hotel gym suck,
Tell me.
That's hard.
Tear me up, man. They tear my shoulders up. I like, oh my God, I can't do it. I need a gym. So what they did was, you remember we had what was the one before One Life? It was called what was it? The one where you could travel all over. It was called Gold's Gym. Remember Gold? Right? Yeah, it was Gold's Gym. See, I could travel with Gold's Gym. You know, I could go
Go.
everywhere with goals, man,
Yeah.
but they kind of shut that down. So I got into Planet Fitness when I used to travel a lot. And
Planet
of course, you
Fitness was
know, Planet Fitness was good enough. It was better than the
Yep.
hotel gym. So everywhere I went, I made sure I knew what a Planet Fitness was. So
Yes.
so let's talk about a little bit of your regiment, man, and how you just continued to lift so much weight being so young, you know, with your birthday being in 10, you got 10 more years of work. So we kind of all of us kind of did the math on that, you know.
Well, like I said, number one, it's a mindset. Number
Yeah.
one, I always tell myself there's days where I don't feel like it, but I'm like, dude, get your butt in there, you'll feel better. So I just jump in it. But I started lifting and working out at a young age, like around about 13. I was into martial arts and sports, basketball, football, and stuff like that. And then when I really started getting heavy into weights was in the Navy, pumping weights when we were out to sea for 6 months. I was back in the gym lifting with the guys. And that's how I really got into body, I wouldn't say bodybuilding, but just strength training.
Yeah.
And then it just became a way of life. So
yeah,
one thing I knew, by having physical strength and being strong, I could do stuff around the house. If the wife said, "Hey, I need you to move this couch," I could pick that joker up and move it and stuff. But it was more functional for me. I like to have the strength for functionality, so that's what always keeps me in the gym.
yeah.
So then I just started developing my training programs. Over time, I used to keep a journal, and I would hit the gyms like that. And with traveling, it was very challenging. So I would have to hit the hotel gyms, like you're saying, and then look for local gyms if I could find stuff. And then when I joined the One Life, when I met you, what was that, about 3 or 4 years? 4 years with the One Life, 3 or 4 years in that range. So I stayed with the One Life. And then when I switched jobs again, I decided to go back to the YMCA now that I'm in the States. So as I travel around the US now, I can hit a YMCA with no problem.
That's great. That's great.
So that's basically how I've been doing it. And then, just the nutrition, trying to eat well, taking my vitamins, and then just keeping the consistency with working out. And it just keeps me nice and strong. That's how I do it. Yeah. And you see, I post some of my stuff on YouTube, on Facebook, of me pumping the iron. So
Yeah. I was like, John still at it, boy. John still at it. I could never do those deadlifts. I said, I'm not doing that. I'm very conservative, man.
That's good.
Yes, I love
That's wonderful. It's a hard thing to do, to stay consistent. That's the main goal, is being consistent. And I find that I fall a lot. I've been falling a lot. I've been having a lot of tragedies in my life, with all the things that happen. So it is a great stress reliever. There's times I go, but then there's times if I'm not into it, I just can't get a workout in. So I think you got to really be up to it to stay consistent, because I find myself, I go for 2 days and then I won't go back. And that's where I'm at now. So I got to really get my mindset together. And then with COVID going on, you just want to be sure that you're safe, and you got to keep your mask on. Sometimes it's hard to keep your mask on. Certain equipment that you're on, it's hard for you to, get your breath, especially I'm out of shape now. So, but I think everyone needs to at least try to get in shape. We all need to, the nutrition is the hard part. Finding the right meal plan, because you can't work out unless you get a nutrition plan too. And you got to follow it consistent. So following your calorie intake, following your max and all of that. So I know it. I know all of it, but my mind ain't right.
Working out, man. Working out is 90% mental. I just remember I went to the One Life over in Norfolk, and I was working out, and I just couldn't get into it, and we just love to lift heavy. And I remember the gentleman came over and said, "Man, I can tell you're not really interested." Yeah, man, I still my mind is into it. And he said, do me a favor. He said, go over there and lighten your weight a little bit. Just get through the routine, lighten your weight. And from that point on, I was like, wow, it is 90% mental. Because this is the thing. When I just lifted light weights, I got through my whole little routine and I was good, So I just encourage somebody out there, man, if you are, going through something in your life and you got a lot on your mind, hey, it ain't none, it doesn't take a lot of effort to walk around the block. You got to keep moving. You have to keep moving. If you got stairs in your house, run up and down the stairs. You might can't make it to the gym because of COVID. Run up and down the stairs. You got to do something every single day. Every single day to keep that heart rate going, to keep it pumping. So. But I understand wholeheartedly, man, because I've been through that where I've kind of fell off a little bit, but I've been such a gym kid to where I missed the gym, man. With this, and John, I literally had to go to the hospital, man, during COVID. When it first, because my back, remember that, Kim? My back was killing me, man. And I knew, and as soon as the gym opened back up, it went away.
And that's crazy. And that's a big eye opener for me, because I haven't been in the gym in a while. Warren had me doing all sorts of things, and I was in good shape. And then I fell out of shape, and then my body started aching like crazy. I'm like, why am I having all this pain? Like my limbs, you start getting all of that tightness everywhere and stuff. And then he was like, oh, you gotta go to the gym. Like, it's not that. As soon as I went to the gym and I released everything, it's like my bones, everything inside, all the air, everything just woke up, But now I'm back to it again. I'm still getting these pains, so I got to get it together. But that was really.
She keeps saying, "Oh, my side, and I just look at her like, you already know the routine, Kim. You already know the routine. You keep trying to beat this thing, man. See, I always tell people there's two sides of pain in the gym. When you first work out, John, you get that soreness. But see, man, we love that soreness.
That's good soreness.
But when you're not in there, you get that bad soreness where your body starts hauling because you have gotten your muscles to a point to where they recognize that, hold on, what is going on here? Why you not working me out? You get what I'm saying? So they start aching, man, and it's like, it took me to a point where I literally had to go to the emergency room, man. And I'm like, what in the hell is wrong with me? And of course, soon as they released the restrictions, and I was good to go again. So I'm kind of scared, man. That's why I tell people, put your mask on so we can keep these gyms open, because I'm hurting.
One of my secrets to keeping me having good energy and the soreness and stuff and recovery real quick when we come back is this Tonkat Ali. It's a natural root, and it gives you stamina. It helps build your immune system, and it boosts your energy. This is my secret while I go hard.
Can you take a picture of that and send it to me?
Yeah, I would do that. You might want to try this.
Take a picture of it. Where do you get it from?
I get on Amazon. You can get it on Amazon. It's 90 pills, and you take it. It's got all the natural roots and ginseng, and then the Tonkat Ali is from Malaysia. It's a root from Malaysia.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, take a picture of that, man, and send it to me when we get off.
I'm pumping iron. The young guys are asking me, they was like, how old are you? I go, how old do you think I am? They say,
hold on, let's do the math now. You got 2 more years to work. Let me see one.
I said, go add 25 to that.
That's it.
And they're like, oh my goodness.
That's wonderful.
You look good, man. You can always say, man, a healthy life, man, a great wife, and traveling and eating right and making sure your finances straight, all that. It keeps you from aging, man. Like, because I tell you, is and there's no pun intended, we're gonna always be motivators, man, to make sure people get up and go. You don't want to be broke down once you get over that 50-year-old mark. I think a lot of people think it's too late. And I just get so excited, John. I was in the gym today and I seen this guy walk past me. His stomach was this huge. I mean, like I can tell it was his New Year's resolution, right? But I was happy for him, man. I was like, man, I'm glad he's here. I'm glad he's here, man. And because this is just the beginning. And I just love to see people that's in the gym like that, because they just getting it started, man. And you have to be that encourager, and sometimes it can be overwhelming for them. You send everybody in there with chiseled bodies and stuff, and you just getting started. So anybody who's listening to this broadcast, man, start with the bare minimum. What you got to do is, what is your advice, John? You got to do it every day, right? You got to do something, right?
Yep, I would say you start slow, because if you go too hard, then you're going to end up hurting yourself, and then you're going to give up. So I say you start slow. You can start out with like riding the bike 2 or 3 times a week. And then, you can do some walking in the park. And like now with it being cold, you can, join a gym, the Planet Fitness or whatever like that. You can get in there and just do light weights. You don't have to go heavy. You don't have to be Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
Reps anywhere from like 25, from anywhere from 12 to 15 reps, just to keep the pump. And then just be consistent with it. Start a nice little full body workout is good, where you do all your body parts as a new beginner. And then as you advance, after 6 months to a year, then you can get into, some upper and lower, type splits and stuff like that, push pull legs, and do more with it. And before long, you'll have a nice, regimen. You'll be consistent. You'll be eating right, doing your workout, getting cardio and weights, looking good, feeling good, and then helping others. So that's how I see it.
That's good. Yeah, that is so true. I think the hard part sometimes with a lot of people, and I know myself, when you get back in there and you're out of shape, people watching you, it's the watch party. You know what I mean? They're looking at me, especially when you want to try something new. You might not be doing it well, but they're over there looking at you like, what is she doing? That's wrong. No. So then you feel some type of way. You're like, get off of this machine. But you really want to try, but you're afraid to ask people. So I think that's the hard part. It was hard for me that way too. So I usually follow other plans now from like anyone who works out. I'll follow their routine off of an app or anyone that's on maybe any social media site and watch how they do it, and then I learn from that way. So
there's some very good apps that allow you to follow and record your workout routines. There's one I think there's like Gym Pro or something, and you can write your routine, and then you can keep track of how much you're lifting, and it got a history and stuff like that. I use that, and it keeps me, pretty consistent. And then I see my days of working out, what I'm going to do each day, and so it keeps me, on track. I think that's very helpful.
Yeah,
I'm the total opposite. Every routine I've ever done, I built it. I just build my own. When I very first started, I used to go to the magazines, and this was before the apps really got. It was flip phones back then. We didn't even have smartphones when I started. That's how long it's been. So it's been a long time, but I used to go to the magazines and stuff like that, but over the years, man, it's a mental thing. I got my notes, and I'm a very routine person all the way down to the gym. So my body probably could call for some shocking right now. I know if I was to get a trainer, I'll leave out of there like it was my first day working out. Because I know his muscles I need to hit, but I'm just so scared, man, because all it takes is one thing I can say, John, man, I have, knock on wood, I have not been injured.
That's beautiful.
I have not been injured. When I see guys come in the gym and they gone, and you like, what do you, oh man, I tore this or I tore that. I'm like, not me. No turn for me. No.
You got to know your limit. You got to know your limits. And,
absolutely.
And then don't push it, So that's how I do it. I know as my, I haven't lifted. I started back this December, basically. During the beginning, when COVID hit and they told us quarantine back in March, I didn't lift not once. I just struggled. I gained a lot of weight and everything. And then when December hit, I said, okay, 2021 is a new year coming. I got to prep, get ready, because I'm going to be getting back on the road. So I said, let me get back in there. So that first couple of weeks, I could barely lift 180. I was like,
that's weird, right?
Yeah. And then my muscle memory kicked back in. And within 4 weeks, I'm slamming stuff. Boom, I'm back into it. So it didn't take much, because of the muscle memory, is what I'm saying. So that paid off really well.
That muscle, man, I remember that, man. Oh my God.
I was aching the first couple of weeks. I was like, oh.
Yeah. It's
and
crazy
now,
how
I hit it hard, and the pain is not there now. So It's a little
Hey,
pain
John,
because
it messes with you, right? When you benching 315, now you can't get up 2 plates, right? You like, hold on, I gotta get
yeah,
back quick, man.
yes,
Well, I've
yes.
been
I was
there,
like,
man. I've
yeah,
been there. I'll tell you, man.
yes, indeed.
You know, I had a thought
Yeah.
process here while we're talking, and it's great conversation. And again, this is John Mitchell. He is joining the Talk Over podcast, and we are live, man. And we are enjoying this conversation. Where here's a man who has traveled the world, has gained friends everywhere. And you know, when I first met him, you know, he shared, you know, what he did with me, and he didn't even know I was in awe. You know, I just never forgot him. We kind of broke off a little bit because you know, I moved. Well, I started going to the different gyms. I stopped coming to
Yeah.
that gym
Mhm.
because my work
Yep.
hours changed. You know, I used to come early in the morning on the way
Yes.
to work,
I
but
read morning
yeah,
regimen.
we was morning guys, but my
Yeah.
schedule changed, and I was so
5
I had to,
a.m.
yeah, so I had to go in. You know, I had to go to other gyms, but you know, we always stay connected on Facebook or whatever, and now we have them
Yeah.
here. Um, but John, you know, us being, I'll be 50 this year. You know, I'm not gonna tell my age through retirement. I'm gonna let them know I got. I'm not gonna throw that plug in there. I'm gonna let them know how old I am, John.
Be
Because I had to do the
proud.
math on
Be
yours, brother.
proud.
I had to
Be
do.
proud.
Hey, Kim, this is what I love about him, man. He always laugh, man. And, I mean, just such a great spirit. You can tell, right? It comes
Yeah,
through, man. He's a
good
great guy.
personality. That's well.
Yes, wonderful guy, man.
Mhm. It
But
makes you have a better sense of humor when you're around someone who you can
yeah,
talk with. You know, that's not so
Yeah.
tight. You know.
yeah,
Yep.
So,
yeah.
You're approachable, and then
yes.
people can talk to you without
Yeah.
feeling, So
Yeah.
Now I
I
know.
like that when I'm up in the planes and I'm sitting next to people and they're sitting next to me, and then I'll start a conversation. Before you know it, by the time they off the plane, they're like, "Can I get your email
You
address
know,
and all that?"
that's wonderful. That's
You know,
wonderful.
I'm gonna change it. I didn't tell you guys this part because I wanted you guys to be honest, right?
Hmm.
I want to really get into, because you have traveled the world, John, and you know, by us being older men, now I want to talk to our young men and women. You know, I want to get into that conversation because I know, you know, with you traveling the world and just seeing the different cultures, you know, and you being a black man and myself being a black man, and but you, I know you are a person who got friends of all colors, right?
Hmm. Yep.
Let's talk to our young men, John. I'm gonna let you open the floor, man. Talk to our young men straight off the top of your head, man. You know, with the culture and what we're going through and what you see and and try to connect it to what you have seen around the world. I think that's an interesting conversation.
Yeah. I say for the young men, number one is to get your education, study.
Hmm.
It's okay to be rocking your video games and doing all that stuff, but always focus on your education so that you can be prepared for tomorrow's technology.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
I so important for not just black men, but for any generation, any race, is to
Hmm.
Right.
get your knowledge, because we're competing not just in the U.S., we're competing globally.
Yeah. Yes.
So we're competing
Hmm.
globally.
And we need
The
those
more,
minds, right?
yeah, you need that mindset. So
Hmm.
if you can develop your math, your sciences, and your reading and writing, that could take you anywhere. You can take
Hmm.
you can go anywhere with that. So that's basically, if you get those foundations, from there you can start deciding where you want to go and move on, and then you just grow from there. That's where I see a good starting point for young men.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, yeah. You know, a lot of our young men, you know, are struggling with the resources. You know,
Hmm.
they struggle with the resources, and not only the resources, they struggle with um, trying to fit in. I would say, you
Okay.
know, especially when they're in grade school, going to high school and stuff like that. You know, sometimes that crowd, man, can be your Achilles
Yep.
heel, wanting to, some of us, even myself, I have a lot of lucky breaks, I would say,
Hmm.
and to be here now and talking to you guys at my age, it was only possible the grace of God that I'm here, you know, not only young men, but young women too, you know.
Yes.
So
The
with that
young
being said,
generation.
you know, I just think that, you know, we turn on the news, man, and it's like they're going away from here very young, man, babies, man.
Yep.
You know, they
Yep.
die at young ages, man. So I like your advice to them about education, because you came straight to education first, because you
Yep.
know that is one of the most important things that can get them out of those situations, right?
That's the number one. I mean, I grew up, you know, I didn't have a lot. It was 7 of us. My mother, she raised us fine. And I had to have the basics. So once I got my basics, my dad's boss told me when I was 12 years old, he said, electronics is the future, back in like 78. And I'm like, electronics? I was 12. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's hard. He goes, don't worry about it. Just do it. And I listened to him,
Yeah.
and I had a great life. So
That's
that's
great.
what
That's great. That's great.
I think is the young people should listen to the older folks. They got some wisdom, and they can tell you and teach you
Yeah.
which way to go.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, some of them think we don't know no better. You know, they rather listen to their friends that's their age, tell them the things about life and about society, when we know more or less what's going on. You know,
Yep.
we might not know everything, but we can give you some
No.
detail to keep your safety intact.
Yes.
You know, and where you should go. So
you have the wisdom. That's the key.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They might can Google everything, but you can't Google wisdom.
You
Yeah.
can't. Yeah, you can't. You can't Google wisdom.
You can't.
When you were traveling, were you able to travel around the different places you went to see different cultures?
Yeah. When I'm in the area, I always got a chance to go to, you know, tour the sites and see the historical areas. I always make sure that I had a day or two where I could go around.
I got you. Yeah. I see you post on Facebook a lot of your souvenirs and stuff like that, man. I know you got a house full of them, right? I know you got that room full of souvenirs, man. You got to take a picture of that room, John, and put it up, man.
Souvenirs everywhere, just
Everywhere. This is great. This is great. But yeah, man, we just have to continue being advocates, man, and having that voice, you know. Sometimes, you know, I take my head off to the people who want to do more, but you know, as we seen what just happened, you know, I don't want to get into the thing that happened at the Capitol, but we can see how strong voices are, right?
Yes.
Especially a repetitious voice telling you the same thing over and over and over again. It's like a bad song they play on the radio, and all of a sudden you say, I like this song. Well, you don't really like it. You just keep hearing it. So they play with the psyche with those things. And so long as they play it over and over. So I just encourage, you know, mothers and fathers, you know, keep telling that child, you can do better. You can do better. You can do better. Make it a repetition. Yeah.
Absolutely right.
Make it a repetitious thing, man, like a record, because you know, it's crazy how you making F's in school, but you can get on a video game and learn it the first day. So you're smart.
Yeah, that's right.
They can dissect it, man. They already getting to the end. Where I'm not a video.
And those games are hard.
Those games are hard. I be sitting there with their little fingers.
Yeah.
Like, why can't I do that? You know.
My grandson is 4. He knows how to do that thing. He says, "Grandma, you don't know how to do this?" I'm like, "No," but he thinks I should because I'm older. I'm like, I don't know that. What? Yeah.
I remember we were playing the video game before he got out of Pamper. Like, boy, you put that game down and get on that toilet. Try to change it. So that's what I'm saying is like is what they're interested in. So I think even as parents, you have to give your children something that they're interested in outside of just telling them the right from wrong thing, you know, because we think that right, wrong. So what are you challenging your child with? Right. And I know in your household, I don't know if it was electronics. Was that something you challenged your children with?
No, with other things like with sports, different games, like chess. The game of chess is good.
Yes, the thinking mind game. Yeah.
Thinking game. So all my nieces, nephews, and stuff, when they hit 5, they gotta come see me because I start teaching them the game of chess.
That's great.
Yep,
that's great, man.
One of my traditions that I do with my family. As I
That's great, John. That is great.
Think ahead and be able to manage and see angles, and there's multiple challenges. So you just grow and you grow with the game of chess. So that's what I do with young ones. I did it with my daughter, and now I'm doing it with the grandkids and my grandnieces and nephews.
That's good, because that's a concentration game. You know, they got to sit there and concentrate, and you got to be patient. You know, it teaches them patience. So it's needed.
Yeah.
These kids get angry and they want to give up. I don't want to do that no more. No, you have to. You sit right here and you do it.
You gotta think, and you gotta be patient. You just can't just be. It ain't checkers. So.
I tell you, man, you are the epitome of having a strong man in the house and a strong man around you. Just in that one sentence, you showed how important it is to have a strong man in the house. You know, because you said 5 years old, they all gotta come
to me,
and they already know. They already know. We gotta go see Papa. We gotta go see Papa. They already know. You know, and that's in their mind, man. They already like, oh my God, I gotta go play with Papa. But it's something they got to look forward to too, and that's great, man. That's great. That's great.
I had my little nephew the other day. He's 4, and he saw me teaching my other nephews the game, and I said, "How old are you?" He says, "I'm 5," because he was ready. He knows that. Like, he
wanted to do it.
I'll teach you. I'll start teaching. But he's great. He's like, wow.
That's great.
I love when they have that hunger.
Yeah, that's great.
Man, that's great, man. I love that. I really.
It made it more. It was much fun. It's so fun, and he wants to be a part of it, seeing what they do. You know, and this is gathered all of them around. So one kid always wanted to follow the next kid.
Yeah,
so that's a good way. That is really good. That's good.
That's great. And it's chess. It's not like a foot. I mean, it's just chess. I mean, how many kids running to play chess? But because it's with Papa, they like, hey, I need this challenge. I need this challenge. You know, because they look up to you. You know.
Yeah.
And that's how I always tell people, a baby, adolescence is like a blank piece of paper, and you you writing on their mind, man. So you have to be careful of what you write on that child's mind. You know, a child's mind is blank,
and they're watching everything.
Everything you do.
Everything.
So when you say, where did my child go wrong? Sometimes you got to close that door and go look in the bathroom and look at your.
Amen. I had to do it. I had to do it. As a young mother, I had to do it. I will admit to it now. There was things I'd done in front of my children, me and their dad, and some things they watch. And when you think they didn't watch, they did watch. So that is so true. You have to be very careful. And now in my age, as a grandmother, that's why I am really consistent on what I do around them, what I teach them. So
leadership is an example.
Very much.
We can talk all day, but you got to be doing the right things too.
Yes. And how you talk, how you speak, because if you speak negatively, they're going to speak negative because they see you doing it. If you're doing all these things and you're saying all of these things that are not good, then they're going to think it's okay. But you say that. You gotta bite the bullet when they say that. You say that, or you do that. So this is true. This is
John, I'm sitting over here, man. I got one number too many in my age, man, because I could have came and gave you that challenge in chess, baby. But I'm too late for me. We can just take the 0 off, though. I'll be right there at that age. I don't know how to play chess. I think I learned. I think Kobe was trying to teach my stepson.
Do you know the game?
How to play chess, huh?
You know how to play it?
No, a little bit. I'm just not that. I'm not that guy.
Okay. My youngest son plays it.
Okay.
No, I don't know, man. I just don't have. I don't know. I just can't sit there that long and think.
You can always play chess.
Oh, unless it's concerning some money now. Now I'm gonna sit there all day with you. We learn how to shoot dice at 5. how to play punk and spades, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Terrible.
We were trying to get to the spades table at 5 years old, you know.
Mhm. And I don't know how to, I don't play, I played it spades before, but it's not something I like to do. I don't.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
It was a whole different culture. It was a whole different culture, I tell you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I can tell you one thing, man. Life lessons set me up for this because
Okay.
I don't know if there's a whole lot of things that I've not seen or been
Okay.
through.
Right.
Okay.
So this mic right here, I already know why I'm sitting in front of it. It was
Dude.
destined, man, because God took me through so much so
Bless him.
early, you know.
Bless.
And the only thing I had to learn how to do is talk. You know,
Mhm.
be a
Okay.
better orator, be a better person who can get my, because I struggled at first when I first got on video. My first
Okay.
videos were horrible, you know. But as I talk week after week, you know, my thought process is now catching up with my mouth. Because
There
it's
you
like
go.
my mouth was faster than my thought process, and I will always miss something. I was like, oh, I should
Okay.
have
Okay.
said that, you know.
Yep.
So it's getting better, it's getting
Watch him to
better.
get it out, and he wanted to be heard, making sure he didn't miss anything. I said, just take your time. You just be you. There's no, you don't have to be scripted. You just talk from your heart.
Yes.
You just speak
That's
just like that. And that's the way I learned. I wasn't always that good. I don't even know if I'm that good
Yep.
now. People might say I suck. I don't know. But I
No.
do it based off of what I think is best for that guest. You know what I mean? So that's how I
Yes.
speak, and that's how I ask questions, and always
The
let the
best.
person, always listen and let that
Yep.
person speak too. Sometimes you might get a little bit over, but I
Mhm.
enjoy speaking to people. I learn from people. We all need to learn from one another, and I think that diverse setting is a good thing that we all need to learn, because we learn from different cultures.
Mm.
We know what to do and what not to do. We know how to love a little bit better, and not be so hard a little bit less, so I think it's important that we need to come together. This happening, I don't want to get it biblical, but it needed to happen. God said
Yep.
it needed to happen for us to come
Yep.
together and start loving, because
Yeah.
God
Yep.
is love.
Yep.
So it's sad that this has to go on, but I
Yep.
hope at some point, I know I have faith that we're going to get it together. We have
Yes.
to. Society
Yes.
must get it together, because we can't have
We
the
will.
next generation going through this.
No. It's too. It'll be too stressful. It'll
Yeah,
be too stressful. And life is
yeah,
short. So
it is.
you want to live to the fullest. And then, like you said, basically, everybody is when you're diverse and everybody's bringing something to the table, we all learn, we all share from each other, and we
That's
get
right.
better.
That's
So,
right.
from my
That's right.
experience traveling the world and being around, seeing different people, seeing how they do things different than we do in the U.S., has
Right.
opened my mind to make me
Yes.
think differently.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so I get creative because I seen something in Europe or I seen something in Arabia, and I
Right.
can bring it to the States and apply that type of knowledge.
Right. Right. And I like that. I like to learn from different cultures.
Yeah,
I like to see what it's like, I mean, that's why we travel to these other countries,
Mhm.
we go on these vacations, we go to their, country, we learn about them. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
history is about. You want to learn. So I
Exactly.
think it's important that we be diverse. We can't go there with an attitude. You can't do that,
No.
So I think it's important to be kind hearted and want to express your knowledge about what you know about them, and they can feed you some more. So I want to travel. That's what me and Warren wants to do. We want to travel. It's just us here in this home now. We don't have nobody, so we're looking forward to get out to other places. Once everything clears up. So yeah,
it's one of the best things now.
Yeah.
And even if you don't speak the language, they got Google Translate, so you
Yeah.
can talk
yeah,
and
yeah,
the conversation with a person
Yeah.
right on.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, that's
wonderful.
great. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
Wow, great conversation.
This
Great
was great.
conversation. So,
wonderful.
Mr. John, we're pretty much coming up to that point to where we have to say not goodbye, but we most definitely would love to have you back. But we like to keep these things somewhat around 45 minutes to an hour. So it look like we coming up on 50 minutes, but I'm really enjoying this conversation, man. And we are just
Yes.
So I'm just so glad that my wife was able to get to talk with you, especially on this platform, because I've mentioned you, a number of times to her, especially when I see you come across, Facebook. I always like, wow, this John, man. John, he's a good guy, I love to talk to him. So that's when we reached out. And I'm glad we did, man, because it just shows, who's ever, get the chance to watch this broadcast or listen to it on our podcast, they're gonna know that, you can stretch your mind out, man, and do some great things in this world, like you're doing. I mean, right now, I don't know what his radar system family is at with Mr. John. He's not in it no more. So should we worry about it, Mr. John, that you're not there no more?
They got it. Shout out to my radar family.
That's great. That's great. Great.
Yeah.
So is anything else that you wanted to add?
There was one thing, the silver lining, that I wanted to add before we go. During the pandemic, we were home and everything. And I started doing more of my ancestry and DNA. I started doing all that. And my mother she said to me, I never knew my pops. All I knew was his name was Joseph Love, and he was from Washington, D.C. She said, can you help me find my dad? I'm like, Mom, this is a needle in a haystack, but I'm going to give it a shot. So I plugged it in my tree. And lo and behold, October the 7th, I get a call. I got a DM from a family member that says, your grandfather is my uncle.
Wow.
I need to do that.
My mom's people, the love family. Shout out to the love family. I want to say,
wow, that is great.
My mom is like a little 5-year-old. She just meeting all her family and stuff. So we connected. I got phone numbers. It's an incredible story. It's a needle in a haystack, but God bless me to find this for my mother, dude. It's incredible. So I just wanted to share that on this platform so the world knows God does miraculous things like that.
Amen.
So now we up with the family. We're all connected. When you see my mother and her family, they look alike. You can see the noses. They like, oh my God.
That's wonderful.
That is great. It's crazy that you brought that up, because my wife been telling, because I never knew who my father was.
Yes.
I've never met my father before, and she been telling me this since I first met her. Your father.
Do that DNA, 23andMe, Ancestry, or CRI.
So it really works, huh? It really works.
Yeah, I told him it does.
Wow. I'm living proof to it. I found my people, man.
That's wonderful.
That's great. I
gotta
do that.
Yeah, it's needed.
That was a silver lining in 2020. With all the badness going on, we still was blessed.
That's right.
Hey, do me one more favor, John. Show that supplement bottle again, if you can.
Tonkat Ali.
Tomcat. I'm gonna look that up. Tomcat. It's TONG. Okay. All right. Tomcat Ali.
Okay.
Yes, it's a good one. And then you got to take your vitamin D, baby. D3.
Yes, vitamin D3. I take mine. Yes.
Okay.
Got to take that. We need that. You need that.
Keep your immune system powerful.
Yeah. It gives you energy
I think we take what, B12? I think we take B12s.
We take B12s and I take D3s, because that's something we lack a lot of.
Yeah.
Yes.
We lack a lot of that. So
just to let you know, Dr. Fauci takes D3. He takes 6,000 IU. So if he takes 6,000, I double mine.
Yeah. I'm going to get some tomorrow. I'm gonna get the Tomcat. I'm gonna get the Tomcat. I'm gonna get some D3 and add it to my regimen. Yep.
I have D3s, but Warren won't take it. He thinks,
I don't know. I told you. I take a men's one a day. I do take the men's one a day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you need the vitamin D.
That's right.
Okay. I got you. Okay.
So I'll leave on that note. I don't want to keep going, but yeah.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
We most definitely appreciate you, Mr. John. And again, let's do your math again. You retire in 10 years. So let me see. You retire in 10 years. So let's do the math. Hey, man, it was great talking to you, and we appreciate you. I got one more thing for you. We're doing a military issue of Bully magazine, and I was gonna ask you if you would share some military experiences within the magazine. It's up to you, totally up to you. But we would love to get your story, highlight you in the magazine. And it's gonna be our May issue. So I put you on the spot. Is that a yes or a no?
That's you ready? Yes, baby.
All right.
So we're out to you. We're working on the March issue right now, so we probably and it's the same thing we do is a phone. Well, we'll get with how we do it, the process of how we do
That's
it.
fine.
Yeah, we'll get the process. Very simple process.
Your wife, 100%.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate it. We'll appreciate it. But you're gonna be in there with some great guys. You know, right now, our son, he's overseas now. He's in the Air Force Reserves, and he had to do almost a year duty. Yeah, so he's over there now, man, in the middle of the desert. So he's doing his thing and serving his country. So we wanted to do a magazine in honor of him. I think he's made the front cover of it. But of course, you know, I was in the military, and we got some other great guys that was in the military as well. And we want you to join. All right. Well, great guys and women. It's very diverse.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, with that being said, Mr. John, we thank you again. We're not going to hold up. We're going to let you go ahead and get your Sunday dinner. Your second portion.
I prepared it. I'm all ready, but I'm ready to grub. I'm
ready to go grub.
Okay.
All right, man. We're not going to hold you up much longer, man. We appreciate you, all right?
Yep. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care now. All right. Bye.